Second, both are.
They are rapid onto the corner here. White face, 3 players though left to fight them. Tens hightailing it out of there. Backs away. There's a smoke drop down at his feet as well, just to cover that retreat.
Looking like they want to take another fight immediately over towards short. Tens just trying to make sure that nobody walked up behind the Viper wall. Risky to try to take that kind of play, hoping to catch a timing on Munchkin. Had he gone for that, GenG's approach here is quite slow. Sassy's already used one of his flashes just to let him know that Fountain was clear at the beginning of the round. But now Lakir and Munchkin gaining information, peeking into John.
John should see this, as you said here, with the jiggle. A little bit of damage done.
But John, look, not pushed off that angle. So still getting information that Hookah is clear. That's going to keep 2 players over towards A.
Right here.
So if GenG were hoping that that play would open up A as the weak site, it's not going to be the case. Zels is still with Molly.
This although will be about to be set up here. Now, what's the emphasis being placed towards this A side? Dogs straight through to Molly, doing a bit of damage. It has slowed them down. They realize Showers is open. The reposition out into the back of the site. Dizzy up and away. Broken in place. Sassy, good kill. Wingman with the swing. They are absolutely running over these GenG players. It was the fast TP and a wrap around. Shut down. Sentinels. A pistol round gained. Just in time for them.
Fantastic pistol. Completely turning the tide of the narrative in the previous match that GenG were dominating all of those important rounds. And the player to watch there was Tens. He did such a good job. That's a fantastic play from Sassy too, but I love the wingman usage. I love the double up with Zelsis and Zekken, and making sure that they catch Meteor. To me, when I watched GenG last time playing on the attack side on Bind, the player that stood out to me was Meteor. He gets so aggressive on Cypher.
Oh yeah.
A little Alpha Year-esque.
A lot of solo takes into Showers. This time though he's supported with the whole pack almost here. Still Outlaw. Extra meets his match, drops to the floor, and these are kills that you don't really want to be funneling into Zekken. Don't want him to get those showstoppers online, but with Showers control gained, peace of mind granted for but a moment. They still need to deal with potential lurks.
They've actually pinged out where John Cutie was playing in the previous round, and everybody on GenG looking to group up over towards Hookah. So perhaps, you know, because they found that positioning previously, they're going to look to try to punish it.
There.
Look, again, setting up, making sure the crosshairs are in the right place, but John playing a different angle.
Yep.
Escapes without any danger.
Good jump spot from Tens too. GenG again, the whole pack just roaming around here, looking for those openings. Here's Meteor. Talk this guy up, bigged him up for good reason. His mechanical ability's off the chart and he can just solo open things up. Cool Karma collected with the aim, has to really steady the hand now through and out into the site. They have dropped the players, assaulting the positions.
30 seconds
Karen
left.
spotted. Tens holding position, just waiting for these reinforcements to come through. It's looking fairly clean. Nicely done from Sentinels. Tens building up to what looks like a fairly speedy Thrash, which could be a massive ultimate to work with. I think this is the dangerous side actually for Sen. When I was watching them play this composition against Heretics, bearing in mind that we've only seen them play it once, they've really adjusted their defensive setups, or at least did in that game. Whereas previously when they played the Yoru, they were focused heavily on Showers and B-Long. We saw much heavier focus towards Hookah, Short on defense.
Seems to be a return to that, right?
It seems to a little bit, but bear in mind we've only seen it once prior to this. So that could have just been their game plan against Heretics. This defensive setup, for example, much more reminiscent of what they've been doing early on in this game, and more similar to what they've done classically on the map.
It's the Meteor Classic, as I was talking about. I mean, the guy just likes to go walkabouts. Solo plays towards Showers. He tries to play off the timings as well and noise that the rest of his team makes.
And I would say that this is Munchkin's weakest map individually. I think that's one of the reasons that Sen will have picked this and felt confident about it too. GenG's map pool is just outrageously good, but this is probably down towards the bottom. If they're able to recover here and put up an excellent attack half, I mean, they might just be the GOATs. Who knows?
Let's see. Taking Gander now seriously at this bonus round as a call being made fast. Look at that Stimmy. Tens following it through all the way into Lamps. Stunned up. There was that connection and they are just running and gunning. Current didn't stand a chance. A second go of things now. Dizzy. There's some value. Blinded up, but at least Lakia can stand his ground. Rooted into place with 40 seconds left. Time Not too much of a problem just yet, as long as they do slow it down and pick off these remaining players around. Sassy, back at the site, Ghost, winning it, but now just facing all together.
30 seconds
Second
left.
realizing it, backs himself away now, up towards heaven.
Lakia has to plant here with 3 HP. Zekken has a nade. Is he going to be able to get into position to deny
Opens
this?
himself super wide, but he takes the risk, actually just goes for the wider swing, and Lakia, yes, he does go down. Straight bit of damage, 140 to the chest, and Texture. Back at the site, not accounted for. Gun round. Earned here, and 1 out. There's no bonus to get away from them. SEN don't get that luxury.
But they've done an enormous amount of damage, honestly. GenG's economy is not going to be in an amazing spot here. You know, Guardian, Bulldog coming into the next one. And there was certainly danger. I love this decision to fight backside. It was a little disjointed from GenG, but a nice call. SEN's defensive setup again prioritizes showers at the start of the round of B long. Quite different from the last time they played against Mixed. It really does. It's time to be split. Waiting out the molly, and Texture's just not scared at all. Look at this guy, wide facing. Not worried at all with the wall was down. Plenty of angles left and waiting. Flash through there, getting the acknowledgement. TenZ, what is the call to be made? They are really just out wide and open. If this wall goes down, they should know the timing for it, but it's going down. Flash through and out. There it is. Meteor falls, deleted. Lakia! How has he done that?
Wait, I'm not too sure. Jumping up and hopping up. That was a trailblazer kill that I just saw filling up the feed, but the spike dropped down. Texture seek to reclaim this one, and all this action has happened with still a minute left on the clock.
What is Munchkin's call here? Zelsis is still waiting over by showers, expecting them to use that teleport, because Sentinels have lost B long control. Love the play from Sassy and TenZ. Going for a fake B long re-clear and then a real one afterwards with the wingman. But it still left things in an even scenario. This is still looking like they could take the teleporter, but Munchkin's getting into more and more of a committed position.
30 seconds
Slowly
left.
now assuming positions that want to try and exec themselves into this site. Here it is. Munchkin has a snake bite, will send it flying. That's just to block off that CT exit and entrance. Still the face, and the fight is called. Munchkin, a lot more left to do now here with only a few seconds left. Removes the Seeker, was pesky in his face, a bit of a problem, but again, time against him. And with the spike in the middle of nowhere,
No time.
clear wing cons, acknowledged there. Zelsis, yeah, he runs his way out.
Very well handled from Sentinels in this round, and Sassy stepping up. A lot of what Sassy has been doing on this team in this new version of Sentinels has been purely supportive. You don't often see him at the top of the scoreboard, putting himself in good positions to dominate in the same way that we saw him when he was on Loud. But this round, finding great impact. With the re-clear, with the swings as well, shutting down GenG. And all of that economic damage that Sentinels did on the bonus now really paying dividends.
Stacking up. It's a much weaker buy and approach here for GenG. They're sending out that cross-map molly. Should be familiar with it by now. It's going to be landing onto B long. Allows Texture to claim that ground. Slowing it down. In the right moment, waiting for the team to back him up right behind him here. Classic playbook of GenG, just contacting in, hoping that they can take a fight and trade it out if it goes poorly. Sassy is the one to watch for here. And look at that Texture. I mean, insane awareness. Shots fired and rattled, but there it is. Zelsis returning. A few of his own. The spam battle 1 out, or at least evened out.
Evened out, and Munchkin is looking to try to take this timing down short. He's posted himself in an aggressive position. Second and TenZ want to re-clear.
Oh, theft. Molly was sent flying.
Oh, they missed it!
Oh, he missed it! Still walking into the molly. How are GenG finding all of these kills are onto the A side already?
That is ridiculous! I thought TenZ and Zekken had the awareness that Munchkin was there, and Zekken, he ends up getting caught as well, so giving away his positioning. He's going to have to pull out heroics to get this. It's looking awesome for GenG.
Yep, doesn't do anything there. GenG doubled up. Almost every position accounted for. Sentinels. Yeah, decisions be made for them. Backing away from this one.
Brutal decision that they have to make in this spot. But terrible economy on TenZ, Zelsis, Sassy as well. How have GenG managed to pull that one away?
That's a confusing one.
It felt very similar, though, to that eco round that ended up swinging things when the score was something like 8-8, 8, you know. I think it was round 17 actually,
Yeah.
on Breeze, where Munchkin tucked underneath window over towards B, and he made that aggressive move, and he got rewarded for it. And this is similar again. There's a distraction play over towards B, and Munchkin gets into position. This opener is lovely, but I think what actually ruins them, oh, that's brutal. He just didn't hear the molly or realize. But this is the play that I think wins the round for them. Munchkin finds the timing to be able to punish TenZ and opens up the A site for his team to rotate. SEN have been aware of that before. TenZ was looking to re-clear, but they just didn't go deep enough down short to catch Munchkin hiding behind that box. Flips the economy on its head. But actually, GenG are taking 2 Guardians into the round. 3 players that'll die to a double tap.
Really just trying to min-max as well, that money. Keep it flowing. Face now out wide. Munchkin. Great awareness and even better aim! That's 3. Drop down red, filling up the feed. Sassy, yeah, of course he returned the fire, but guns being reclaimed out in the open. No chance left here, so GenG all but certain now going to be that 3rd round. John happy to do a bit of that damage, but yeah, guess what, Meteor, he's not letting him get away with that.
Punishing the gun pickup instantly there. And I said earlier that from what I'd watched in Pacific, I thought Bind was Munchkin's weakest map individually. And I also said earlier that when I think about GenG, I'm thinking mainly about Texture, Charon, Meteor being the 3 powerhouse players. When Munchkin is finding plays and finding moments and winning duels like this, I truly believe this team's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Because it adds that additional layer. Munchkin ended up top fragging on map 1. He destroyed them last time these 2 teams played split. He's been outrageous in this tournament.
He's doing it again now here on Bind. Nade off the Dizzy's contact and a fight as well out into the open. There's the one who's going to be coming up on top. Seekers here out. There's a little bit of chaos now. Strone really into the mix here with the orbital strike. Was committed. No kill from that one though. And GenG wounded. Be limping themselves away now back over towards that A site.
They know that Zelsis took the teleporter, so they know that there's a Brimstone around there with ult to be able to deny the plants. This isn't a round where GenG can just try to fight quickly. They actually smoked off the teleporter at the very beginning of the round as they took sand control, expecting a crunch from SEN. But instead, it was that double up under Hookah that did the damage and put GenG in this spot.
This mid-round by Munchkin, called to just contact all the way in, has done them wonders. Still, they do have to worry about that ult, and there it is. SEN flying out to the back of the site. Lakia, pop flash play, out and collected! All sorts of kills and damage, but the wide face of Zelsis, beautiful with the movement. He glides and saves the day. Leaves it down to that 1v2, still with the pit up. Munchkin, plenty of options left here. Is he going to be aware of this? Potentially. Keeps the pit up. Tap.
He actually might be able to tap here and use the teleporter even, but he's looking to try to take the fight instead.
Trying to make a play. Every angle needs to be watched for, and it is.
What a round by Zelsis.
Yeah, 5 Merchant in the flesh.
Impeccable play there, and I love what GenG went for too. The awareness from this team is spectacular. They're thinking about the fact that they could get sand crunched at the start of the round. Then they call the mid-round over towards A, tap, and look to flash backside to punish the players who are going to be trying to get into the pit at that time. Love what they did, but Zelsis shuts it down from his position on top in heaven. Very competitive game that we have here. And Texture has yet to really show his dominance on the entry, coming straight down mid.
Good, no direct hits.
He got rocked.
Straight to the back wall. Yep, it's second. Comes out on top in that one here. Nade will get sent flying. Players seeking to try and plug up that gap as well. You can see them. GenG trying to swarm that position. Mosh Pit does relieve that pressure, but okay, Meteor still alive and has dropped him down. Now the showstopper. Earns up and a bound. Zekken eventually claiming the kill, just using a gun this time. Here it is into the site. It's Meteor. He splits it up.
He's distracting. He's pulling 3 players over towards A. Munchkin, though, instead of rotating, decides to reinforce his player, who's in a deep position. But this crossfire looks impossible to break.
How do you break it? You just can't, surely.
Well, they're worried about a B lurk, so this might break it themselves.
No way.
They don't swing.
The trade's late, the swing's late. Meteor, he's gone for seconds, you greedy, greedy boy. But spam down at a triple point, and now there's the call. Finally, a TP by Munchkin. Gives the indicator again, but Sentinels left worried. They've made the right read onto this one.
They have. if they double swing at the same time, they're going to be able to catch Meteor. Do they predict it?
Discipline, the diligence, Meteor can't land his shot, still 30 seconds left, and again, it's a wrap around, the ring around the roses, straight through the TP. Munchkin, though, will be met or placed. It's going to be blocking them off, at least from being able to flood themselves back into it, but he actually didn't activate the orb.
And he didn't throw the snake bite either.
Bit of a misplay potentially, but now finally out into the open, a few bullets to pay for the price of that one, still alive.
SEN was so worried that Munchkin was fake tapping there that they didn't even get into Bagsik in time. So now Munchkin's snakebite with the orb completely locks them off. They are worried, where could Munchkin be right now?
There's that misinformation strewn into the round. Now Munchkin has a snakebite. Can play it as the first point here. Sassy just sticking, holding with faith in his teammate right behind him. And you can feel it all the way through. Paranoia settling in for John, but still he lands the shot in the end.
Great call by SEN and a right smile on Munchkin. Look at that. Fantastic positioning by Zekken, and he hops over the top of it. Playing jump rope up there. And Kaplan's happy about that one. SEN starting to pull away. Not doing enough damage to GenG's economy just yet, but they've got themselves in a great spot. Ults abound, their defensive setups are working, and another fight potentially here. They've got the read that Meteor just keeps placing Cam in similar positions.
That's why the fast face comes out, it looks like, from Sentinels, just making sure that they take away the Cam, don't let Meteor set himself up into that spot. But John QT, his pit blocks off his one section of the B site.
The mid-round timing. I mean, Zekken here might be looked to be bailed out by the Thrash. Yeah, you can see this setup. But it's possible that if GenG have enough players here, this could just be Zekken in a one and done. And everyone is here, all four players for GenG grouped up.
Dogs contact.
Either going to be amazing or terrible for Sentinels.
Thrash being held on the Trailblazer. Here it is, sent flying, but it's no, it's a little bit late. It's the late second. Does he get out of entertainment? Right on time, Kieran. Oh, he's barely crawling away there. Death's door, but he will survive into this round. And guess where Meteor is? Go and walkabouts once more.
He made a noise.
So damn good at trying to play the map into this fashion. But yes, he did make a noise. And now the Seeker's being used. It will point him towards him. It has to break it. Drops down the cage. Direction. GenG turning in and facing over towards the B side. And again, Sentinels will be running and following them fast on them, hot onto the heels. Inside the smoke. Meteor dominates the angle and dominates the space with his own neural theft down. GenG stand a chance and more. The decision to be made. They fight into the back of the site. And it is going beautifully for them.
Spike planted.
The pace from GenG is just far too much for Sentinels to deal with. This team reacts so quickly. The calls are amazing. The decision there, realizing that the solo play from Meteor had taken enough space to get in, and instead of doing something simple, like throwing Karen's molly over towards that smoke, and stopping the SEN flood retake, they get inside it themselves. And I was seeing this all the time when these two teams played on Split. To me, one of the biggest issues was SEN could not keep up with the pace of decision-making from GenG. Like there, Tens throws the wingman because he's thinking, I'm going to stop somebody from getting inside this smoke, and I'm going to get into it first. And he doesn't realize they've already thought of it and got there quicker. And these tiny adjustments in timing can be all the difference. Cool idea as well from Sentinels on that short hold. Just not quite enough. Look at it as well, the extra layer of flashing through the smoke. It's just so good. And while SEN felt like they were pulling away with their wins in round 7 and 8, it's actually them with a battered economy now.
Shoddy by.
Now, Zelzis can still be a real difference maker with the judge in hookah. Do not count that out.
Oh my goodness, you do not want to be standing there.
Yeah, they're expecting somebody to be playing for the orb, but nobody's won away, so just a hard read, perhaps, that they were going to go for that on the eco. Sassy and Tense set up to go for that re-clear down B long again.
Texture though, he's in an anti-flash.
Yeah, it definitely feels like GenG are aware of it.
Sassy's out wide here. He's jiggling all that information. Trailblazer, this timing could be absolutely everything. Gets broken up close and personal. Knows that GenG have come knocking. Seems like they want nothing to do with it. Dizzy, flash play.
But only
around, they've called it to go back again.
Yeah, Dizzy only shot one person. So GenG might be thinking, right, they think we've left, let's re-hit B now.
Rooted in place. Maybe the noise. Dog taking ground there. Lakia faking like there could be more presence over towards it. Sentinels making calls of their own to just triple up into hookah, but with Lakia not spotting anything. Now the call has been made again. Another pivot here by Munchkin. He's cementing this idea that it's going to be that open site for them. They're not worried at all, are they? Nade, almost a punishment on it. Caron gets out alive. Heal on line 2, so he will be topped all the way back up.
And this is where the Judge and the Stinger don't look so good anymore.
The post-plant position is immaculate. Munchkin playing a deep angle into Showers, even just Lakia with a late rotate now doubled up with him. Too much to deal with here for Sentinel, surely. They'd have to just some absolute miracle shots, and they're already setting up and gearing up for it now. Out wide again, but guess what? Yeah, Meteor is too fast onto the approach. Inside the smokes, inside every possible option that could have been there for Sentinels. And second, the only thing he's focused on his mind is trying to get out with that gun, but even that is denied. 5-5, GenG making it nice and even here.
I'm loving this attack side calling from GenG. I think they're playing the macro game really, really nicely. It's been one of the things I'm most impressed with this team. And one of the reasons is, I had no idea Munchkin was capable of this. No. We've seen him at global events before, but bear in mind, nobody on GenG has previously been in a position to do this kind of thing. They are not the creme de la creme of Korean talent, at least not until this year. They've always played second fiddle. Munchkin and Meteor were playing in Japan. They didn't even have the option to, you know, get those opportunities on top Korean teams. Lakio languishing on the bench. Texture off Duelist. Karen not even a pro player, for God's sake. And every time Munchkin had turned up, there'd be a language issue and the attack side calling didn't look very good. This team has come together with HSK prepping the roster, setting the groundwork, and just exceeded every expectation, even the coaches.
And then the respect region-wide. I mean, they've come knocking at multiple opponents. They've always knocked them out. #1 seed of Pacific for a reason.
And it's not so much, in my opinion, that they're standing on the shoulders of giants and building on what Pacific have done before. They look to be straight up leapfrogging them.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have we seen DRX and PaperX try to break through that glass ceiling? And yet GenG, what ceiling? Wait, you guys couldn't win before? Why not? It's actually kind of easy. It's unbelievable. Double outlaw here for GenG on the attack side, predicting the fact that SEN are going to be on an eco.
Maybe right. It would be right. Deep smoke drop down here for Sentinels just to try and at least hold on to control of Bathroom Showers. Up towards that A-long angle, but B-long, I have a question entirely here, because, again, walking slowly up towards it. Reactions on point for Texture. Just sit through the wall. Sassy barely survives.
Very lucky for Sassy there. Does Meteor have a read that Zeken's in this corner? Zeken trying not to make a footstep while staying agile. No damage on Zelsis.
There's noise being made all over the place here for GenG. Just, I mean, how difficult it must be for Sentinels. They see the dog go up B long, the shots fired off towards A. Flash sees nothing.
That's ridiculous.
Flash sees nothing.
Anti-info and Sassy's leaving. How has that happened?
That is ridiculous. I have to see a replay of that one later, and it's already just being sold even further. Nades, snakebite, full combination. Terrible concoction. John QT, the sole defender, just needs to hold down his little portion of territory. But Meteor just seems so damn aware of it. He is. Hunts him down, sniffs him out.
Brutal situation for SEN to be in. This site's so difficult to retake Lakia. Oh, body block there for a moment.
Surely no chances though with the gun advantage for GenG. They are crossfired up. Outdo, making sure that they can beam down anybody who tries to step past that mark.
Zeken will take the death to be able to, oh, the kill, sure, to be able to get his ult online for the next round. But it's just all focus on round 12 here. Oh, and they're just playing with Sassy.
Dude, I thought he was going to go for it. I really did.
And any danger in the round for GenG, completely upset by that bird telling lies over towards B long.
See this one.
Yeah.
Where to go? Not
Flashes
too sure.
around. I mean, it just goes into garden, but everybody's playing an anti-flash position. I'm not sure on purpose there, really. Just happened to give terrible information. The bird disappeared without a whimper. A canary in the coal mine as Sentinels quickly did the same. 3 ops online for GenG here, looking to try to close things out if Sen get aggressive.
Okay. Let's get silly.
They've all got rifles, I would assume, to be able to pick back up as well.
Round 12, final round of this first half.
And actually a really important one, I think, for Sen to be able to get online. You know, they've got the ults here. Zels is one away from having an orbital strike too.
All it takes is one misstep though. One opened up body, just trying to gather the information from Sentinels. They might just go down to it. Zekken again, jiggling, Meteor, eager for the fight, eager for it indeed! And there it is! The first punish online. I mean, operators across the field. It's Kieron just plucking tens out of the picture.
And that reaction trying to set up the showers crunch where Zekken could re-ult back onto Meteor. Didn't realize Meteor had already left. They'd read the play and punished the reaction.
Running inside the smoke, doubled up now. They want to flood back into this one, trying to catch that timing. And here it is, doubled up high-low. Sentinels. This might be the right read for the back here. He's brute force to barrel through Sassy. So damn fancy. Might have brought them a window of opportunity, a chance. Very narrowly. Nade rebounds, but not enough to stop this one. And Zekken still has the rocket showstopper available. Pit. Now going to be dropped down here with the rocket to clear through and out over the top. It's lifeless. Baron in nature, but he snipes him anyway. Expected a position. Sentinels claiming the 6.
Zekken takes over in the 11th hour to tie this one up at the half. But if this is where Sen thought they had the biggest advantage over GenG, this first half has taught them that they are not going quietly. This map pool, it's an ocean for GenG. Lovely play from Sassy there, utilizing the brim smoke, ducking, dipping inside of it. But this is anybody's game.
Right. A series of unknowns really as we head into that second half of fight, despite it being Sentinel's map pick. Absolutely insane stuff, but on the floor standing by, we have a special guest, a very special interview.
I am here joined by Valorant Studio Head Ana Donlan and obviously our Global Head of Esports, Leo Ferreira, Madrid. Uno de los motivos y las razones por los que estamos hoy aquí es gracias a ellos, así que os voy a pedir un fuerte aplauso para darles la bienvenida y las gracias obviamente por este pedazo de evento. That's just for you guys, so thank you for this event. Now Ana, I want to ask you, today we just introduced a new agent to the pool. What can you tell me about them?
So Clove is something we've been working on for a really long time. I'm so proud of the teams back at Riot. They really pushed themselves on this agent, both from a design perspective, creatively. I think they are so vibrant and beautiful, and it's going to do so many great things for the game. So I can't wait for everyone to get to play them next week. I thought the show match today was amazing. It was so good. Congrats to Mixwell and Team España. That was amazing. And yeah.
Okay, we love that. Thank you very much. Now, bueno, obviamente creo que lo habéis entendido, ¿no? Que tiene muchas gracias de que tengamos a Clove entre los agentes, que el showmatch ha estado genial y que solo en una semana ya podéis estar probándolo y creo que va a estar muy, muy guay. Now, Leo, of course you're on the competitive side. What do you think about this gorgeous, gorgeous event here in Madrid?
Oh my God, we are so happy to be here. We've been dreaming about coming to Spain for a very long time. This is our first time here. You all have been incredible hosts. Thank you so much for embracing VCT. We love you. This is just the first event of the season. There's a lot of VCT to come in 2024. We're gonna jump straight into stage 1, and we're so happy to be here, so thank you all again.
Nos da las gracias por estar aquí, por ser tan acogedores. Esto para los que no habéis hecho el workbook. Pero la verdad que lo estáis haciendo genial. Obviamente todavía nos queda todo el stage y todo lo que queda por llegar en 2024. Recordad, cuanto más ruido hagáis, más conscientes serán de lo que necesitamos estos eventos en España. Pero obviamente esto no ha terminado, así que seguimos con el partido.
Do love a bit of crowd work. the people riled up here for the second half of Bind. Full importance. And our eyes peeled now onto this pistol round.
And I know that Sentinels have changed up a lot since the last time they played Bind against Heretics with this composition. But when we saw them play, it was a lot of short execs with late showers backstabs. Have they got more in their arsenal? Are they prepped against what GenG are going to bring out here? This is a must-win map for them.
Lakia feeling the heat now and the pressure from that one. Bundle of util be going to be used. Trailblazer holding his ground just for a moment, baits it out the shots, but he does get the info that he was after.
Oh, Ten's taking the ult up there when I think he was aiming to pick up Wingman.
He'll be happy with both.
Yeah, didn't get punished for either. GenG are so happy to follow the noise and trust the read with their defensive rotates. This is such a key thing when you watch them. They stack sites like nobody's business. You've got to run fakes against them. And now, Trailblazer coming down short, trip broken, that starts to pull texture away. But only for a moment. He realizes there's nothing following it, and they trust their gut and stay on B.
30 seconds.
It's so difficult to sell a fake against these guys.
30 seconds left.
But I think SEN have just about managed it. The B control actually turning into the fake. Looking to commit down short again, and I said, these 4-1 execs, they were bread and butter for SEN.
Meteor, is he going to be spotted? He's playing deep tucked inside that smoke, and he could again just be the difference maker. Guarding, body of Wingman, orbs picked and placed back up. Plan down here for Sentinels. It's all about how he gets played into the post, but Meteor, he was spotted out. Wide into the smoke, Nade flushing him into the back of the side. He is down and low, but hopefully a heal online, potentially there. Still, need to hold down onto this ground here for Sentinels, in through lamps. And GenG, they are methodical in the nature, the way that they approach a lot of these retake situations. It all comes down to the minutiae, these tiny little details. Flooding now, front of the site, shots found and kills finally online.
The defuse.
Team and the defuse, Karon half already. Has he bought them time enough potentially for GenG here with 2 players left? Lakia, the orb, at least there, another kill, found and out and defended! You're joking! You're kidding me!
From the first Masters event, coming out here in the most recent Lakia, so clutch. These shots are unbelievable towards the end. Defending from every different avenue, popping off.
Oh my goodness.
Lakia himself said in a recent interview with Pedro Romero that his biggest mistake in his career was joining DRX, then known as Vision Strikers, after having that success in his first Masters event.
That is gold.
Yeah, imagine that.
Gold.
And now, he's overtaken that team that he ended up joining and having more success here in a grand finals.
Potential off the charge for Sentinels. This is a great charge out wide and open. Look at the volley, the damage all combined and collected. Rallied into it. GenG obviously favoured. He's got the spike and he's in their spawn.
It's a weird one.
It is a really strange one.
Actually, if Karon ends up going down, although I don't see how he possibly could,
The judge, surely not.
but the A site would be open. And there is simply no way.
Just understands the timings inherently.
All left on Zekken.
I knew his backside. Call being made from his teammate. Second. Earns himself a plant at least here. Really shouldn't be any opportunities for him to win it out. It'll have to be a bundle of mishaps and mistakes here from GenG to really topple this one. So
these are just the consequences of GenG winning a beautiful pistol round here. They get themselves up to 8. Lucky is going to take the defuse. He's now only 2 away from getting Seekers online. They know that Karon saved the judge into this as well, so might anticipate him being positioned over to Hookah for the next. Normally that's going to be Munchkin's job, defending onto Hookah. And when I was watching GenG playing Pacific on defense, they loved to push. Not in a coordinated early round manner, but just looking for those mid-round timings, trying to abuse the fact that on Bind, teams don't tend to be as spread across the map, watching everything all the time. Of course, SEN's comp doesn't have the Cypher to be able to rely on. Those trips are not going to be there in market, so if anybody finds the mid-round push timings, they're good for it. And it is Munchkin looking to cover Hookah, while Karon picks up short.
Sentinels.
Clearly aware that Munchkin likes to play that aggressively. I think this side is where we've seen weaknesses from Munchkin before, but he also loves to take fights so much that if he's on fire as he has been today, and he was in their last match, he could easily be the win condition for their team, in fact.
GenG looking like they're calling for a reclear in through hookah, so they're going to get information quite rapidly at least.
But Bren, if the judge wasn't in hookah, where else is it going to be other than short?
Now they're walking right into a Charon. Too much util, the dog doesn't clear him, but he does break it anyway. Kill trip! Lands a shot. Good adjustment in the end, but Tense does return that fire. Now flash blinded. Texture still, only for a moment. Sen's line and 8. Now there's 45 seconds here for Sen. You can collect yourself and cool down your senses, enough for a potential pivot to a different area, but they've committed the smokes and they want to know what his last play is. That Texture! What is that? Pulling away. Trip's still not dealt with. Lighting these players up, yet John QT is right there again. TP through. That was only Zelsis. What is the call to be made? Bonus round for GenG finally, full committal, but they're going to be walking again into Munchkin. Never losing his ground here, always holding on to this space, and now Meteor doubled up crosshair setup. This could be nasty, this could be brutal. Obliterated! GenG just have such an immaculate read. Every position, every scenario, it's all accounted for.
It's these defensive rotations again, Brent. GenG are so far ahead of it. Sen think that they've got the timing to be able to go through the teleport like that. GenG have already got Meteor not just over towards B, but already set up a crossfire with Munchkin. And beautiful little bait play there. Munchkin letting himself be seen first and dragging them into Meteor's crossfire. When you watch GenG on defense, you would call it over-rotating if it wasn't winning so often. They have such a trust in the read. This nade to push Texture away from his position.
Nasty one landing right on top of the box. Satchel. Second setup now with this Bucky forward position, but Meteor. Oh, Meteor. Oh, what a snap to the side. What's the wrist breaker there from Sassy, and hello, what a time to come alive here for Sentinels. Much needed, much anticipated now. Texture trying to dodge and juke that timing here. Entertainment onto Lakia. Is back to all of them, chasing them down, hunting them down. Sassy wants even more, offloading the Seekers. Why not? A winnable spot, a winnable position. Charon all alerted to the presence, but he picks up the rifle almost with the pre-fire. Still 2 versus 4. Spike has to get planted here, so Sentinels will at least earn that.
Everybody on Sen inside lamps. It's a really unusual post-plant position.
Gaps to be played within. Sentinels cannot let this one slip, not after losing previous gun round, not after losing most of the scenarios where they had that advantage. Thrash off that tap. Satchel over the top here and a seek to punish. There it is. Texture, last one left, last one alive through the box. Nade earned again. Tucked, hiding away from the position as Sentinels trying to play this one just with a little bit of intelligence. And John gets that information! And a shot to the head. Thrifty here. MasterCard well earned.
What a timing for it too. Definitely felt like GenG was running away with this game. And this is a must-win map for Sen. This is where they felt the most favored. This was their pick of all of the maps they could have gone to. And as the desk was mentioning earlier, they're kind of playing for the 3-1, hoping they don't even need to get to Icebox. Incredible shots being hit there, and Sassy on fire here on Blind. We expect to see those a little more, I think, from the GenG players. But here it is. Texture with an operator looking down B long.
Yeah. He's got himself onto a really nice forward angle. Spotting out this operator is going to be key and essential here for Sentinels, but they don't have anything concrete to clear it out. Look, even the Dizzy just clears it. Jump spot from second was really out wide, but giving up that space. But GenG putting such a heavy premium on control of just both B long and showers. Even got the cam set up. Munchkin willing to hold it down.
Yeah, and they've actually not really heard much on either side. Charon goes for the gamble over towards B. Interested, Munchkin didn't quite find the timing to take a duel, but he's now tucked in a position, going to get cleared by that flash.
Yeah, certainly should be. Zekken eager to take the fight there with a boombot just right behind him. He knows the rough position here of Munchkin.
Karen's back immediately over towards A. So there's still 3 players defending this.
But only 30 seconds roughly left here. Mosh Pit sent flying over the top now as well. Trying to take the space. It's only 10s and he's left alone to his own devices. So for the rest of his team here with only 25 seconds. That's a spike drop down on top of it. It needs to be heroics and it needs to be masterful play at that. Munchkin almost going down to the stray satchel, but it matters not. Overwhelming aggression from GenG. Full locked-in approach and play. Seconds dwindling down to nothing. It's GenG up to 10.
The stack, the crossfire, way too much for center deep. And not just that, GenG fighting close, not trying to hold into backside and rely on the fact that, you know, they'll give SEN the play and try to push through smokes or anything like that. They fought almost even before Meteor was taking contact from the short trips. They pick off 10s here. They're looking to try to fight them in short. They mollied off showers as well, so Zekken couldn't help. They picked that apart and fought aggressively. There's a really interesting quote from HSK actually during another interview where he said that GenG tries to make the plays that other teams would hesitate to make. That's a very conscious thing that they've come into this year trying to do. We are going to try to be the team that picks that timing and fights you.
Been working so damn well for them here, GenG.
Look at the rotates, Brent. Look at the rotates. I mean, it's less than 10 seconds into the round, and they're planning to 5-stack B.
Second showstopper. Loose here was vulnerable, but up close to the corner to clear. Lakia! Blinded! What? Found what? Snaps it! Sentinels. They found an advantage, but it's about converting it now into a round win.
And they've got an inkling that there's a ton of players here stacking the site, but they're not fast enough to pull the trigger and go for the rotate through the teleport, which would have been a play to open up the A site for a free plant. They found themselves that player advantage, and now GenG, with the players stacked, looking to re-explore.
Oh man, look at this call to contact re-clear. Are they going to be ready with the rifle play? It needs to be online. It is. Sentinels. Clean sweep there, out towards it, forcing GenG out in the open. That slight pause keeps them alive for now, and it was really necessary, Josh. I mean, you end up losing that one. GenG up to 11. The economy just been dwindling. Sentinels getting rocked left, right, and center.
But what is this? The timing on that Dizzy. It just blinds Lakia
so
right. Yeah. Well, he was 1 HP, I think, after he went through the Viper wall as well. Yeah, so just, but still, caught down extraordinarily low. The crowd here behind Sentinels, willing them forwards.
They're not easy rounds that Sentinels are winning.
They're not at all. Again, GenG had 5 players B.
That's fast though. Zekken is in front of the snake bite as well. A little bit of damage, almost a kill onto Lakia. It's good damage. It's going to be permanent. There's no heal online. At least he can heal himself. Now the Trailblazer for the re-clear. Munchkin, you can't be calling for that one again. He just goes down with it.
Yeah, and these are the times when Munchkin ends up getting punished, and it's looked rough for GenG. We haven't seen very much of it. Munchkin's been playing a superb game, but that's the kind of stuff that was happening in Pacific, and SEN have taken full advantage. There's 3 players very close to key ultimates as well, though the orb is not here. SEN put another pause in the round, maybe hoping that GenG would do another exploration. They've got to be cautious about Texture's ultimate, and Garon's, for that matter. The more they let the time click, the more that those ults could just win it for GenG.
Josh is waiting for the fuel here, just to prop both of it up, make sure he can clear some of this util. Trip. Spotted and broken. Not be pulling any of the GenG players away. It looks like positioning is being shifted. No, still a re-clear of Texture. He's happy to hold this close angle.
30 seconds left.
This when he has the rocket available to him. Another trip. This time. Noise pressure on either side. The TP rotation is now core with 20 seconds left. Guess what?
What about
gone now?
What about Karon's ult?
Karon's ult, yeah, it's not really going to be handled here at all, and that's going to be sending it out with Wingman. He's going to be broken. No, they can scaffold it correctly, but it does catch on the second. So the plan is online. 4v4 though. A must win for Sentinels. Must win indeed.
The flank.
Fast wrap around, flanks on, flanks Lakia, punished for it. At least recognizing SEN the weaknesses of their own composition, but has immediately answered and evened back out.
Celsius got ult.
So advantage now for GenG here with the ult. That's the first tap, and he's waiting for the second point. Karen's fast onto him. Karen's fast onto him. Already approaching and expecting that position, and he just has to let it rip anyway before anybody even taps. GenG so fast with the moves, yet Sentinels shut it down.
The tension in those kind of rounds when it gets down to a post plant is palpable. Sentinels were so close to ults getting online, and if Delsis hadn't found the kill to be able to get his up, there was all the chance in the world that that round was going towards GenG. TenZ with 2 gorgeous kills towards the end, off the back of the Tizzy. And GenG forced to take a timeout. Their first of this map. Frankly, it might be the first in the match that we've seen. I'm not sure whether they threw one in on Breeze.
Certainly a rarity. You don't see them often. Calling for that timeout, cool down in the play here, because this is Sentinels actually making a very decent go of it. Yes, they won here and there, a couple of half-buy rounds when the economy wasn't too good, but that was, you know, full-on gunplay occurring.
Remember, though, that this should be the map where Sentinels are the most favored, and they're still behind by 1 round.
Yeah.
Even though they're favored in the next due to the economy advantage. It's not clean sailing here, not by any means. GenG fighting for every inch of this. Not willing to give up any of these maps that they so carefully selected. Now, in terms of what GenG are going to be talking about in the timeout here, I think it's going to be about those defensive rotations. They've been stacking the opposite site to the lurk. So when John Cutie goes and puts pressure and breaks that trip, if it doesn't feel like an exec down short, they still keep players on B. And this time, John Cutie took the space and called for the rotate over. So that's kind of the opposite, I think, of what GenG were expecting. And it's possible that Solo and HSK are just addressing that and coming up with a slight variation in how they play the defense. We'll have to keep an eye.
Lucky now eager for this orb, looking at him one away from the ultimate, but again, just earning himself, he does, with him dropping, sent to the spectator seat. He's gonna have to sit on the sidelines and really fester and wonder about what went wrong there. Now it is explosive, second, through and out to the Alba position, spraying down texture. This is explosive into the back of the side. They try and stand their ground, but they can't hold their candle. Not against the weapons.
Huge one, clean one. Sentai the game up. And those ults that were close to being able to be put online a couple of rounds ago, where Zelsa's orbital strike made all the difference. Now look at them. Huge tools available to SEN. If they're able to lean on those, it will knock the GenG economy once more. And the game, which GenG had under some level of control, will start spiraling away from them. GenG
machine just churning them up now.
The stack, 3 players over towards B to start, and Karen in a very committed position.
Super committed, but he backs away now with the knife out. Close tucked here. Sentinels.
I mean, this is looking like you thrash to try to put pressure on people, yeah. And Zekken follows it up.
Osh and Seekers with a thrash on top, like you said, Josh here, sending it flying. Zekken is eager for the engagement, even more so, spots it out, Munchkin. First one to fall, fills up that feed for them nicely here, but GenG might even look to try and fight back with the pit down. Something has to really dislodge this one here, maybe even a few stray bullets. Sassy finally planting, elbow control for them. On top of that, it's Hookah.
They didn't plant though. They're still getting it down now, and GenG are taking elbow control in the meantime.
It might work against them because it has cut off these angles, and the core made to contact works out beautifully. Thrash through with the flash as well. On top of it, it comes down to how can they win these kills out? Second, as the Wrangler the Beast that is his rifle. Lit up like big guns, but it matters not. Sentinels. It feels like almost the first time here in this series. I'm sure it's not, but they get that lead, at least by 1.
And relying so heavily on getting those ults up. Look at this play, Munchkin stuck while the rest of his team ended up playing for retake. He was just hoping to go 1-for-1 in this spot. But Zekken's entry has so much to help him. Seekers coming from B long, a thrash, nade into backside, smokes to cut off all the angles. SEN just decided to drop the nuclear codes and just send that one into B. And it's a great time to do it too. Oh, he's on Alakia. Huge, great read that he was going to be going for the ult orb at the start of the round.
Sorry.
That's play, just going their way.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need to keep these anti-ecos clean for SEN if you want them to start building up. Because GenG are super dangerous in these kind of moments. You cannot count them out. They're so apt to take risks in these rounds that have paid off well in the series so far.
Completely ignoring Hookah. It's a smart call as well. You don't want to walk into those shotguns, but the trips close will cause some issues here.
Zelsis has just used all 3 of his smokes, one, I believe, to drop off Hookah, so they've got to commit while these smokes are up.
Fine with a trip, get any values and over above the top of it here. Second satchel now to the 4 position. We'll meet you down. Really no more danger. Sentinels They are steady as anything here. They can feel it on the precipice. They're getting that 12th round here. A critical map in the juncture that is this series.
Texture and Munchkin really with no chances in the round. Though Sassy looks to take the fight instead of relying on the double up.
Zelsis, safe pair of hands there. Rifle in them. Make sure that there's no funny business.
And Munchkin, you can see the motor mouth popping off there. Just gonna save and take this time to address with his team what the game plan is once Rifles get online in round 23. Because this is crunch time. GenG need 2 in a row to just drag this to overtime. And they do not seem happy with the idea that SEN are going to be able to win on their map pick. There is still a chance for GenG to get back into this one, but these recent rounds have all gone the way of SEN. A reminder, though, that they did it by using ultimates. Even here, Zekken pops the showstopper to be able to get into B. So GenG, do they actually need an adjustment?
Wow.
Not just the save for Munchkin to talk. Now a timeout called, the second of the map, to allow their coaches a bit of input too. But Bren, what I'm saying here is, yes, it's been 5 in a row for Sentinels, but crucial rounds have been won off the back of ultimates.
Yeah.
And SEN do not have access to those anymore. I mean, they're one away from getting Seekers back up because Sassy is frying. But I think GenG's game plan has not necessarily been the issue so much as them fighting an uneven war.
Well, finally, there's going to be a bit of that parity. Even guns on GenG's side. Sentinels running out of those ultimates. I think you are right. I mean, you're right on the money in terms of just talking about the game plan for GenG. It hasn't really been going amiss. They've just been getting ran over, steamrolled almost by just that sheer ult economy that's just been churning, generating constantly for Sentinels, but it has run out. And GenG have to put a stop to it here if they want to stop Sentinels on their map pick.
Yeah, we're talking about it running out, but Sassy could certainly play for the Showers Orb here. It looks like SEN are set up for a fast Showers take. And unless Meteor's able to pull off some magic, because he's going to be vastly outnumbered.
Let's see it.
Seekers are going to be online, surely.
What have you got up your sleeve, Meteor? Team needs some magic. They need it now. He's backing away. It's just that aggressive cam.
He's been putting that there a lot, though.
Yeah.
They've already seen that in a couple of post-plant situations. SEN are going to know. It could trigger some kind of Showers crunch, though. So they've got to be a bit cautious. Look, Tens, Zekken, ready to punish the players that might come through the teleport, using Sassy as bait. And now they walk forward, get Seekers online.
Texture. Close, up onto the angle. Dog broken. Boombot as the first layer of contact.
Munchkin
here.
pushing out through
at
sand,
his feet
Brent.
is Munchkin, and he's been doing this at least in the qualifiers. It could be a punishable element. They have to be aware of it. Gaps in the play for Sentinels, and it looks like Celsius is seemingly clearing most of this. But they've left that tiny, tiny window.
These are slow rotates. Zekken, though, making a little bit of noise. Munchkin's going to make the call. Look at these rotates from GenG. All come in, beating the rotate.
No way.
Getting into B.
Flooding back in.
And Munchkin has not overplayed his hand. Makes sure that he just feeds the info his team needs. And what a call this is.
Gets the hell out. 30 seconds. This is going to be a full committal. Straight into the moor out wide. They're not expecting it. GenG players holding their ground, rooted and snared into place, but they're willing to just fight tooth and nail. Spike drop down, Molly's at the feet. Nobody can advance. Nobody can step over the line. There's going to have to be those shots. It's going to have to be that firepower. But again, is it enough? Is it enough? It's not. Meteoric from Meteor himself.
And what a call by Munchkin, man. We saw him go for those sand pushes all throughout Pacific, often getting punished for them, but played this one to perfection. Sentinels have got to be scratching their heads after that, thinking, how on earth, when we were fairly quiet the whole way over towards B and had made noise throughout Showers, how did they get the read? How did they know?
Let's go.
Incredible play from Munchkin without really even popping up on the kill feed. All just based on getting that deep positioning and hearing the footsteps and calling the rotate. The defense side rotates from Munchkin are just phenomenal. And to make that play and just push the very boundary of what you can get away with in a round that now makes this feasible, that we could be heading to overtime.
That's why SEN are calling this timeout here. It's the last one that they've got, at least in regulation, and they understand the importance of the round. You don't want to go to OT, not against GenG, not when they've been making these adaptations over time and correcting towards it.
Yeah, and not just that, Brent, we were talking a lot about the ults being on the side of Sentinels. Well, now the coin has flipped. Munchkin still has access to that Viper's Pit. Charon, one away from being able to get an orbital strike online. These are ultimates that in the middle of a round can change the flavor of what's happening dramatically. Oh my. GenG are going to start the stack on A with 4 players. What a gamble to push them through into OT.
4-1 setup. Don't see it. Looks like they're going to try and set up Munchkin for that deep pit in through the main choke, and he is going to layer it down. Needs to be defended in time, but here's that Showers fight. Molly drop down. GenG walking, GenG walking, GenG walking, but losing the fight. Initially, it's up to Lakia. Hold it down and stand as ground.
Short players!
Away the short players, and Lakia comes up huge. You're joking. Getting away with murder.
It just flips in an instant. GenG not happy to just sit inside the pit. Pushed outside of it. Managed to get a kill. 2 up towards short. Outrageous decision from Munchkin and the GenG coaches coming out of SEN's TAC timeout. And now funneling the final 2 survivors straight into these trip setups. I mean, this just looks absolutely brutal for SEN to deal with.
Dire straits. Not only the trips, got to worry about Charon's ult, delaying, denying. Meteor himself as well, he's just tucked. Safe position. Out wide, there won't be any punish onto these trips, but they're not going to walk into it anyway. It's just concealed, but that TP through Munchkin.
They just know.
Just got to read. I mean, they just know. Now with the camera, spotted it all. And look at that, Charon sends it and splits them up. For OT, all the way here. GenG not going to be denied it at all. John QT dropping to the floor. And let's go again, shall we?
There's a perfect example. I mean, look, let's let's look at this for starters. Second and Celsius trying to hold the push and just got minced. Tense as well, not realizing that Lakia was in the corner, despite the fact that he caught a little bit of chip damage. But for me, that final moment where Munchkin just comes, all right, there's 30 seconds left. We haven't seen them over towards A at all. They've got to be taking B, and they just went through the teleporter. They're not worried about the fact that it could have been a late A hit at all. They just trust the read. Something that
right here.
A lot of the coaches have been talking about. I mean, defending champs, Potter and EG talk about that all the time, trust in your gut, and I feel like no team embodies it more at the moment than GenG.
Yeah, full committal to the calls that are being made here, but the sides are swapped around now. Opening a round of OT. Meteor. They're going to go with this one here. Cam attacking, but already through the choke point. Still, they deal with him. Pesky intruder out towards, and Showers control is going to be essential. What is the call now for GenG?
A plan for Bagsik here and taking control of the defense spawn seems like a good idea. But GenG don't want to commit to it just yet. Now, Karen's got one smoke to play with. You can smoke off Heaven, you can have somebody watch over towards Pipes, but they're not making a decision here. They're slowing down and they're kind of trapped.
Waiting for Munchkin.
Yes, but what is Munchkin really going to do? Tens is on a great angle at B long.
It's just all hinging on this, isn't it? It's an off angle at that.
I just don't see how Munchkin clears this.
Yeah, and ADS spoils it for Munchkin here, Tens.
It's weird though, because they don't know where GenG are. They could be all the way up Heaven, all sorts of spots.
It's going to cause the push out here by Sentinels, meeting them right into texture, but he wasn't waiting for it. It's a trade attempt for Charon. He will fall too. Everybody topples. Sentinels flawless here. The first round of OT, and another chance to seal up this map.
Rare moment of hesitation, I think, from GenG there. Munchkin clearly wanted to take matters into his own hands and was hoping that GenG would find Sentinels making a mistake, going and re-exploring A for information. But SEN was so happy on B. Just one watching spawn, one watching B long. Very good patience and diligence from SEN to get themselves up to yet another map point. They've got to start closing these though.
It's integral. You look at the overall map pool in this best of 5 grand finals. It's an uphill battle almost all the way through. Bind is a necessary component. they need to take away.
Brent, Munchkin's in a really committed position here at hookah. I don't see how he dodges Boombot Dizzy.
Here it is. He's out wide anyway. Just hates to fight to him.
Down B.
That's
No
unreal.
way. How are you doing something like that, Munchkin? The two best players, arguably, on Sentinels, put down like nothing.
Finds that timing before the utility's used perfectly. This is going to get scrappy though, because they want to fight over the spike. They're not content with just playing the numbers advantage.
He is willing to join them, but he has cut off that angle here with the Trailblazer not broken
Weird.
down. Is he actually going to be stunned up? Bullets raining through TP. Core texture is right there, fast in there. Here's the reinforcements. Here's the whole bloody team. Everybody joining the fight and the fray. Fast rotation, stimmy, evacuation.
That's an amazing read by Sentinels. They know that all three players are there, and this is a race that SEN have won. Rare for them to be able to beat the defensive rotates, but
Wait a moment.
a rare mistake as well from GenG. They
Here
haven't
it
got the
is.
plant down.
Sassy hears the noise cues, but he just pre-fires and guesses incorrectly. The gamble not paying off still. Not willing to give up that space, but finally here, Mazaus is out in the but still the kill found 2v2, running and gunning to just retreat and cover that section. Now the defuse, Meteor sticking all the way. Spray down hammer, but that will be it. Sentinels, even it up 1-2-1. And I said it was necessary, and it certainly was necessary.
To the elation of the crowd, SEN, a grueling win for them, forced into overtime, but they do it at the final moment, converting a 3v5.
Absolutely incredible stuff so far. Plenty more action where that came from. Do not go.